Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host, Valerie, and sometime co-host, Miss Purrington. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. You can keep up with us on Twitter and Instagram at Comedy Wham or on our Comedy Wham Facebook page. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, our advice column, Rochelle Takes on Comedy, and we've also got a festivals page, and our recently added FPIA 2022 page where you can keep up with all the competition. And of course, we're best known for our events page for live shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW. If you're a comic in those cities and want your show featured on the calendar, go to the events page and click Submit a Show to complete the short survey. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share your show promo. Looking for ways to support all these resources we provide? Well, you can donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon. Search for Comedy Wham on Patreon and check out our subscriber perks. Now let's get back to our podcast. Launched in 2016, the Podcast Project brings you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and we usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. And if you like this podcast, please rate and review us. Today, I'm getting to talk to our guest who does it all: stand-up, improv, acting, writing, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something from that list. She co-founded the all-Asian American improv troupe, Yola Lu. I don't think I've ever said it out loud. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's not funny. It's just a dumb fact that I decided to derail my introduction for. She is the winner of Austin Chronicle's Best of Austin's Critics Pick. And I know I'm going to screw this up because I did it when I introduced another guest who had this award. She is a winner of 2 B. Iden Payne Awards.
My improv troupe is.
Her troupe is?
Yes.
She's the original co-founder of Disoriented Comedy, an all-female stand-up comedy tour, and I really debated whether to put the almost in there, but I thought that would invite too many questions,
Yeah.
so I went with all, and we'll talk about that
Yeah.
during the conversation. She's the creator and star of the Uncomfortable web series, which if you have not checked it out, you absolutely need to. It is hilarious. She also has a new showcase on the first and third Saturdays called Oh Wow Nighttime, built off of her 1-minute monologue that she used to do on Instagram and TikTok. And now, with that long introduction completed, Comedy Wham presents our guest, Yola Lu.
Hey, thank you. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how much Comedy Wham did until you said the intro. I was like, this is phenomenal. I didn't know you guys had a festivals page. That's really cool.
Yeah, we try to be a resource for everyone. And yes, I am painfully aware how people don't realize how much we do.
Yeah.
Because, I'll have people that will say, oh, I didn't know you had a podcast, or I didn't even know you had a website, but they'll know about the events page. And it's like,
Right.
How do you think this works?
It's so cool. Do you manage it all yourself?
No, I do manage a lot of it, but my web programmer, Richard, is behind the scenes super fan of comedy as well, but he just
nice.
does not like any attention.
Uh-huh.
So he used to do interviews, but he now just loves doing all of the website stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's what has made the events page really pop, and he keeps redesigning it, and I think this
Wow.
latest look is so good.
I have to look it up because I haven't checked it out recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he works really hard on making the survey super easy on people too.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then
And
we
you have
just
a really good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole Austin Chronicle thing was just how we I have known about you for years because I've seen you do stand up multiple times, but getting our actual introduction for the Austin Chronicle article was
Yeah.
really cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm talking to Yola for this Austin Chronicle article, but I really need to talk to her for my podcast
Yeah.
because you have done so much. So,
Yeah, I feel like I do honestly too much. I feel like I'm spread thin in every area and I haven't been able to focus on
Yeah.
a certain thing, but I am trying to start focusing on I'm trying to produce like a new web series actually.
Oh.
So I have it written. I did a table read. I'm in the process of interviewing directors right now. And I think I have some like really good candidates for like the directors, but I'm trying to shoot it this year if possible. And it's actually very different than my previous web series, where the other one was kind of like short vignettes. And just like was like almost like a sketch, like a mini sketch, like in itself. But when I was submitting it to a bunch of festivals, like and for places for like trying to do like distribution, like they were telling me they wanted like something with like a consistent storyline throughout. And then so I wrote something this time where it's like very, very personal to me. And like, I'm also going through a divorce right now. Oh. Like I'm like still in the middle of it. Like paperwork is waiting to get finalized. So it's kind of about like my like post dating life and everything. And then following like how I'm trying to manage like dating. Cause I kind of became like a hoe. Can I say hoe like on this? Like, I don't know. Like
of all the words, most people say, "Can I say fuck?" But I love that. Yes.
Okay.
Whatever language you want to use, it's fun.
Okay.
My mom is deaf; she can't hear us, and my son is playing video games upstairs. So you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of I had like a little hoe season afterwards, like when I was still in Seattle. And then so a lot of like the stories are kind of about like this, like the different characters I met along the way of this. And then they're like me getting into these like really like sticky situations because like I can't say no. Like as a person, I also have a very hard time saying no to things.
Gosh.
And then so it's like that's like the thread kind of throughout that like I get into all these situations because I can't seem to say no to people. Huh. Yeah. So it is very it is very personal, and I'm trying to actually like intertwine like stand up and film, like a filmed story into it. So the stand up is like the narration, and then it like narrates the rest of the story throughout. So I'm super excited about it. Like I think it should be a lot of fun, but that's like the thing that I'm like kind of focusing on right now. Yeah.
That's going to be super therapeutic when you're starting to look at the filming of it and the actors.
Yeah.
Are you planning on acting in it?
I'm planning to star in it.
Okay.
Because
it's going to be extra therapeutic.
Yes, I think so.
Wow.
So I think it's like, and like one of the reasons like I'm doing it is because like I do have an agent in town, but I feel like I haven't been getting booked that often. And then it's like, it's other people that are asking to book, like other friends that I know that are like booking me for their short films or like whatever, like their feature films. Like that's been how I've been getting like everything. But I was like, if I'm not getting booked, I should try to like write my own story and film it so that I could actually put myself out there and play the roles that I actually want to play.
Yeah.
Because I did have somebody like tell me that like it's probably really gonna be hard for me to get like commercials because I don't have a very castable face, is what they said. And then I was like, that has just like been sitting with me for a while because I'm just like,
you mentioned that when we talked in May.
Yeah. So obviously it's like bothering.
Yeah.
Like
oh my gosh.
lives with me and stuff. Yeah. So I've just been but I get mostly like commercial auditions because like that is a lot of the stuff you get in Austin.
Yeah.
Less like film stuff, unless if you're like with a huge agent that is like getting you like roles from LA and everything too. It's been really tough like trying to do acting here. I feel like it's like because I don't get a lot of auditions to begin with, and then like the ones that I do get, it's like I get like maybe like I've been getting more recently, so it's like between like 2 and 5 a month or something, and maybe that's actually considered very good. But when people say like, oh, you need to submit for like 50 to 100 things to get like one yes.
Jeez.
And then I'm just like, okay, like I don't even get 50 auditions a year and stuff. So I'm just like waiting. I'm just like waiting and counting down like when I'm going to hit 50 auditions
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, sometimes you just have to make your own way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's been kind of like how I've done everything in my career. It has been like trying to pave like and build my own community
Yeah.
and stuff, because sometimes it feels like it's like hard to I feel like I have really bad like social anxiety, as do I'm pretty sure a lot of comedians that you've talked to. And then but sometimes like I just feel like I like don't fit in necessarily like with the comedy scene sometimes, like, and it's really just because like I feel like very awkward and scared, and I think everybody's like really cool, and I feel really intimidated around people.
Yeah.
And then, but I feel like I have like started finding like my group of people and stuff. And then, that has also been very nice. But it took me like I feel like a long time, because I've been in Austin for like 8 or 9 years now.
Okay.
And stuff. And then, I mean, minus the pandemic time, which I don't know if we count those anymore, but I was like in Seattle during that time because that's where I'm originally from.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so I just, so I mostly have always tried like building my own like projects and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yola,
Yes.
we're going to go backwards in time a little bit. And I'm actually going to, even though we've had great conversation so far, I have an official icebreaker question.
Oh, yes.
You ready?
Yes.
One word to describe your past.
Oh my gosh. This is, especially because you're also catching me in the middle of doing like a lot of intensive therapy
Oh,
right
gosh.
now. I would probably say, oh man, my therapist would probably say it's traumatic because she recently diagnosed me with like PTSD, which I was like,
gosh.
I did not agree with, because I was like, I don't remember any trauma. Like, I don't know any trauma in my life,
Yeah.
but I would also, I guess I would probably say like forgiveness is something that like describes my past, because if I was like dealing with like trauma, like some sort of trauma in my life, like I have forgiven like my parents, and I've forgiven like the people that abused me and stuff like that. Like, so like I have just like gone past it, like people that like hurt me or harmed me and stuff like that. I've like something that I've learned in my, like, I'm going through like an intensive outpatient program right now for like my mental health, and something that I learned in there was like radical acceptance, which is like just accepting things that you cannot change in your life, and then instead of like mulling over it and trying to fight it and stuff. And I do like, it was also like I had these like this problem like even with my divorce too, where like I kind of like was not accepting the fact that I was like going through a divorce, which was like why it's been going on for such a long time, because it would take me so long to like submit the papers like and everything. And then so like I finally was like, okay, I just need to accept that this is happening. Like my ex has moved on, and like I am moving on and everything. And then like he moved to a whole nother state now to be with like a new girlfriend and everything. And like, and he's like apparently finally happy in his life now. And then so I'm just like, I can't take that away from him and stuff. And then so I'm just like trying to accept this reality. So like, yeah, so it's either like acceptance or forgiveness, I think would be like what would describe my past. I feel like we just got very therapy.
Yeah, we did.
There. Sorry.
It's fine. That happens a lot in the conversations. I feel a lot of empathy with you, because like going through my own divorce, which has now been like 10 plus years, like I have a very robot brain. So I just, okay, this is what's happening now. Move on. I need to, buy groceries. Okay, move on. I need to oh, okay, well, he's remarried now.
Yeah.
And okay, that's fine. And then there's this whole long traumatic part of that too. But
Right.
not, I should not have said it that way. He passed away from cancer. So,
Really?
yeah. So it was just a very traumatic impact to our family, even though, I was
Of
no longer
course.
married to him, but he's the father of my child. And
Yeah.
it's interesting hearing you that acceptance is something that you have to build on. Whereas for me, it's like, well, my robot brain says, well, this is the card that I was dealt.
Yeah.
So what
like,
am I going to do?
right.
Can't change it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it sounds like that's kind of a way of acceptance and everything
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And everything, which is great. Like, I'm glad.
but it shuts down a lot of emotion
Oh,
about it
yeah,
too, which is
yeah.
not so great.
Do you find yourself like still sometimes like grieving over it because maybe you didn't like because like that was like the thing for me, and I also talk about in my web series that like when we broke up, like I immediately downloaded like the dating apps and everything because like I realized like I like can't really stand being alone and stuff. And I was like, we were together for like almost 8 years. And then so I didn't realize like how much I relied on another person, like
Yeah.
just being around all the time. Like I like underestimated how much I liked just being able to be like, you want to go get food and go like eat together, always have plans and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then so like I like immediately jumped into dating afterwards. And then so it's been like really hard to like try to like get over the divorce because like I feel like when I have like downtime, like I start like thinking about my divorce and everything, and then just like I just start bawling. And then even though it's been like we started this divorce process like a year ago
Yeah.
and stuff, so it's like it is weird that it's like it's still taking so long. But my therapist was telling me, she was like, because you never actually sat down with your emotions for this. And then so I was like, yeah, that's true. And then so it makes everything a lot harder. So I think that's like because I'm kind of like how you're doing it is, except I was hoeing around real hard and stuff. But like I like didn't like take care of my actual life. Like I was just
Yeah.
like, how many dates can I go on this week
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. No, I was my hoeing around was going to comedy shows. That was literally my
Really?
therapy.
Oh my
is
gosh.
Going to laugh because
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with those emotions of the
Right.
divorce. So I would just go to as many comedy shows as I could.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how this whole thing started is, the divorce, then going to a ton of comedy shows, then wanting to know the people who I was watching.
Yeah.
And, here we are.
So amazing. Thank God for your divorce. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how it went, but yeah. But
Yeah,
I think it's
funny.
yeah, it's interesting because like I do have a joke now about like my divorce and everything, and then for certain audiences, like whenever I say like I'm going through a divorce, like they cheer and everything because they're like, yeah, it's so like fuck marriage and all this and stuff. And then other people that are like, oh, like, and they would like actually like feel some
Yeah.
sort of sympathy for
Yeah.
you and stuff. Yeah.
Going into the comedy aspect of your life, was comedy something that played a role in your life growing up?
Yeah, I think so. So my parents were actually like really religious, like super, super religious growing up. And then, so they actually did like sermon type stuff. And like every time like both my mom and my dad, especially my dad, would like give like little like speeches, like he would always like make the audience like laugh a lot. And that was always something that I like found to be very proud. And then like I was always kind of like the funniest of my friend group, I guess. And then because like I felt like I was never like considered like a hot person or like a pretty person. Like nobody ever wanted to date me when I was younger. and stuff. And then like, so I really relied on like being funny to kind of like get accepted into things and stuff. And then I didn't get into stand up until I started stand up in 2011, and that's when I graduated from college. I went to the University of Washington, Seattle.
Okay.
And my boyfriend at the time was like, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna sign up for this like stand up class. And he was like, no, like everybody already thinks you're such a weirdo, and you're just gonna come out as even more weird. Like you just like you're gonna make yourself stand out too much and everything. Like he was like very terrified of like me embarrassing myself.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Stuff. Yeah. And then we ended up breaking up, not because of that, but like we ended up breaking up. And then he actually came, it was like him and my mom and my sister that came to like my first like showcase, which was like my class showcase.
Yeah.
And like I did super well. Like I was probably the only person that night that like killed it.
Huh.
And my boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend afterwards like actually was like, I'm so sorry, like I doubted you, like you're actually really funny and you should like continue doing this. Wow. Is like what he had said. But I was just like, I don't know, that was probably like a peak high for me and stuff. And I was like, I peaked too early. And it was like, because you always want like people to be like, I was wrong and whatever. But I was just like, but that didn't feel as like satisfying for some reason as I thought it would be for somebody to admit that they're wrong.
Seattle's a huge comedy scene. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, around that time, I mean, the most prominent name that I can think of is Ron Funches. It was huge in that Seattle scene.
Yeah.
And isn't Fortune Feimster?
She was not from Seattle from what I remember, but Ron definitely was. And I'm trying to think of like, I guess like he's probably like Jeff Dye, if you know who he is. Like he's also originally from Seattle. Andrew Slater, who he maybe is a little less well known, but he's also been on like late night shows and everything. But he lives in California now. But those are probably like our biggest. Kelsey Cook is also from, she originally is from Spokane, but she was in the Seattle scene for a while.
She comes through here fairly regularly,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. And she's really big. Blown up. Yeah. Like, I would probably say she's probably the biggest one we have out of Seattle, besides Ron. Yeah.
Yeah. So after
and
that,
Hari Kondabolu is also from Seattle.
Oh yeah, that's a big name.
Yeah. Yes.
So after you finished that class and that graduation night showcase, what did you do after that?
I started going to open mics afterwards because I was like, oh, I guess this is like the next step that you're supposed to do. And I did my exact same set, but I ate shit. And part of it was probably because there was only like 4 people in the audience. And then so it was just like, but it like made me feel really bad about like my set.
Yeah.
But like after I was done, I with that set, like my entire life trajectory changed. Like all I wanted to do was like, I love this. Like I want to do stand up. And then so I wanted to like do the very like stereotypical thing where you like quit your job or you quit your whatever and then you go and become like I literally became an admin at like a PR agency. And I was trying to study I was trying to get into like technology PR when I was in college. Like for some reason that was like my dream to be like a PR person. And then so I didn't just as a backup, I was like, I'll become an admin at this PR company. And if it doesn't work out, like then maybe I could like try to climb the ranks in the PR company because I do have like school background and internships and everything. So it would be like easy for me to get in. And then I did it for a little bit and then I was like, oh, I can't survive on $13 an hour, like living in like, even though I was like living with my parents, like in Seattle, it was still like, my lifestyle was like, I just like eating out too much and everything. It was like making it very hard to be able to like hang out with people. And then, cause I was paying for things like my car payment and like which was like super expensive at the time, and then trying to like give some money to my parents for rent.
Yeah.
And then it just like was not enough money to like sustain myself. And then so I was like, I had to go and get like a real job, and I ended up being like going to a consulting company because that's where like my friends were working at, and they recommended me. And then so, because I was like telling myself that I would like do the admin thing, I would hustle super hard for like a year and then move to like either LA or New York, with at the time having it be New York. And then, but it was just like, this whole time I've just been feeling like, oh, I'm not ready for it and stuff. And then so it's been like really hard, because like I've like talked to some people there too, and they were saying like the open mics really suck there, and there's like no real audiences. Like you have to kind of already be an established name to like do well in these like cities and stuff. Otherwise, like you're just on like some really shitty like pay to play shows and stuff, or bringer shows. And then so I was just like, I don't know if I'm like ready to do that. And then so, but then I like went into consulting, and then that kind of ended up taking over my life for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was like, when I was like hustling really hard, it was like so crazy, because I would sometimes like not have time to even like go home. So I would sleep in my like office's parking lot and stuff, because like that was, my office was like really close to a different comedy club at the time. So I would just like bring my change of clothes in the car, and then I would like walk there, and then I would try to network a lot with the other comics. So I would stay and I would drink till really late, and then I would like not be able to drive home.
Gosh.
So I would just like sleep in my car, and then wake up the next day, and then go and back into work and stuff.
Gosh.
And then so that was kind of like my life at the time. And then that burned me out like really hard.
Yeah.
Like I just like couldn't do it at all. And then
So which did you give up?
I like I never like gave up like comedy, because I just loved it so much. So I still like kept on doing it, but I just like ended up becoming like super busy all the time, like just trying to do comedy and my full-time career. And then like I didn't want to give up my career, because it was like I felt like I finally did something that my parents were actually proud of and stuff, which was like, because I was like, I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and like the first person to graduate and everything. And then my family was like super poor growing up, so I've always like been wanting to start working pretty soon. And then so I was like trying to hustle as hard as I can, like while I was in college, to like get part-time jobs and internships and everything. And then which was actually why I decided to do comedy, because I felt like I missed out on doing stuff like during my time in school. And then so I like made a bucket list of like everything that I like wanted to do, and stand-up comedy was like one of the things on the bucket list. And then so I just didn't expect to like fall in love with it so much. And stuff. Yeah.
I thought that improv was your first.
Okay, so to be honest, like I kind of hate improv.
Oh no.
But I love my group and the community. And then so that's why I kind of I've stayed in it and everything, because like I like the people in there, and like my improv troupe is like the closest thing that I have to like a comedy family here. And then so like, and I like doing our shows. But like whenever I get asked, and maybe after this comes out, I'll never get asked to do other improv shows, which is fine. But when I get asked to like sit in with other people and stuff like that, sometimes I'm just like, I forgot improv. Like what is funny and stuff. And then like, because like I've been doing improv for like 7 years, and I just feel like I've like gotten worse like over the years and stuff. So I actually went back to Cold Town Theater and took a level 3 class, because it had an instructor that I was like really a big fan of. And then so I like, and also like something about like doing all the stuff for like my improv troupe just like started feeling like we're growing so fast that it feels like we're becoming like this like business, or we're operating like a business. And then so part of me hasn't felt like that's been very fun anymore. Like part of me is just like, I just want to like meet up on a weekly basis, like have fun with my friends, like do stupid make-em-ups and stuff like that, and then get ready for our monthly show. And then it's like we've been just like growing so much. Like we have been asked to do like a bunch of corporate shows this year, and that like actually, and people are willing to pay our rate, which like I think is kind of very high and stuff, but people are just like, okay.
Those corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
just the stand-ups who talk about doing corporate gigs are like, this funded me for, months.
Right, exactly. And then it's like, we even had Willie Nelson's Ranch, like the Luck Reunion people reach out to us about stuff. And then I was just like they were like, what's your rate? And it took everything from me to be like, we would do it for free. Like, we want to go to your ranch so bad. And it was like, and then so that's like really, like, we've just been getting like really cool opportunities, and like people like, and we're also trying to build like a community, but like to do all of this, like you need to like have like business structures and processes in place. Like we have all these like run books now, and we have like a secretary, and we have like people that are in charge, like leads of like these projects, and it's just like starting to become like this little business and stuff, which is great because we never thought it was gonna like when me and Kim started this, like we never thought this was gonna like go this far and everything. And now it's like we are just like getting asked to do like super cool stuff, and we sell out like really like pretty early, like at least like sometimes like 2-3 days in advance for our shows and stuff, which we don't even like promote anymore either. And it's just like we just like have like a fan base now and stuff. And then so that has been my thing with like improv. Like I haven't had a lot of joy performing unless if it's been with my improv troupe, because we actually rehearse and stuff, and we have like this great audience that comes to see us every month. And then and it's just like they're really ready to laugh all the time and stuff, so it's like such a fun like ego boosting show and everything. And then you should totally come out sometime. Like I will get you a comp and everything.
Thank
like
you.
If you and your son want to come. Like we're not super clean, so I don't know like how you're
16.
Oh, okay.
He's been watching comedy with me for years. So
okay.
He can handle it all.
Yeah, like our show is actually like very fun. Like a lot of people like have come up to us saying like I've seen some improv shows and they really suck, and you guys like have like a really good show on your hands, and it's like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like that's how I feel about improv and stuff. But like there is like sometimes like it takes a while to get into this like flow state of it where you feel so comfortable like making moves and doing all these things. And it's just so hard to like find that flow state. But when I do find it, then I find it to be super fun. Yeah. But I like started at Coal Town. No, actually I started at Fallout.
Okay.
And I ended up quitting their level 1 class because there were people in the class that were very sexually inappropriate. Oof. Like just and then I just like had such a bad taste in my mouth after that class, because it was just like so like it was this like mother and son duo that was like taking the class together, and then like the mom would just like say like super immature, like not immature, inappropriate things to like the men in the class, like offering them sexual favors and like doing certain things, like making very crude scenes and stuff, like making people act out like sex scenes and like certain things. And then so there was like a pretty big fight at the end of class when we all went out, and then because like she was like propositioning other men like after when we went to the bar, and then people were just like finally putting their foot down. It was like, we're not doing this. And I was just like, I'm not taking any more improv classes.
Wow.
And then so
was this before the whole okay
this was when it was still like the new movement a problematic culture. But I also just like didn't like, I felt like I didn't know the community enough yet to even like know who to go to and like say like, hey, I'm having these issues. And now every class has like a sexual harassment form and everything that you have to like sign and read before you like go to do these things. But that's why I was like, I'm like not taking improv anymore. And then I ended up like buying my ex-husband at the time, like he was my boyfriend at the time, like a level 1 class for Cold Town's improv thing, because it was only like $100 during their Christmas sale. And then so I was like, here, you need to go out and make more friends and stuff. And then so I like saw his improv performance, and it was like their opener, which was like his teacher and another person doing a duo. They did the best improv, even till like now, that I've like ever seen. Like I was like in my head, I was like, this has to be scripted. Like there's no way that they like could be so in tune with each other and like know exactly what's coming up next. And it was just like because they've been working together for so long. They're called Miller and Purcelli. They're not together anymore, but they were so good. And that's why I was like, I need to take an improv class again.
Wow.
And that's how I ended up getting back into improv and like doing stuff at Cold Town and everything. So that was really, and that's how I've like kind of like found a community, because like Cold Town has been so supportive of like my comedy career and giving me like opportunities and like main stage shows and things like that. Like they've just always been super supportive. So like that's why I've kind of like stuck with them for so long, because like I guess they just like me. But yeah, which is nice.
You also seem like a very loyal person. Like, you know, the loyalty to your family, and, you know, wanting to be successful, have your family be proud of you through your different milestones, loyal to this venue that took care of you.
Yeah. Like I consider Cold Town my home theater and everything, because like they have like honestly given me more opportunities than I could have like ever like thanked them for and stuff. Like they're like Oh Wow Nighttime is actually produced through Cold Town and stuff. So they like asked me to like do the stand-up show for them and everything. And then so, which has been going okay. Yeah. Like it's like so it's held at the Violet Crown Clubhouse, which is like a very small venue. Like it seats like 40 people. Okay. And like the most I've had is like 30 people come out to it, which is like, for that size room, it's actually pretty good. But like it's been like dwindling down every single time and stuff. So like I'm trying to like figure out like how to better market it and everything. But it's like, I don't know if you've been to the Violet Crown Clubhouse, but it is like kind of far up there and stuff. Like
where is it?
It's like next to Little Deli, if you ever knew where that was. It's like pretty close to where I live also, or like near Lala's, the bar.
You know how far you had to drive to come out here.
But you didn't always live out here, did you? Or did you live out here?
No, I think I have, but I would go into town for shows, but that doesn't necessarily mean I know,
you know
everything.
Yeah, because I would say it's like the
like major street intersections.
Yeah, like North Lamar and like Justin Lane, sort of.
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, it's
183. Further north.
It's like, I guess it's like off of 183. Yes. Okay. Like you could get off of there through 183.
The old Cap City.
Yes.
area.
It's like close to the old Cap City area. It's like maybe 2 miles away from there.
Oh, I had no idea they were that far north, Violet Crown.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's why it's like a little harder, I feel like, sometimes to like get people, unless if you're getting these like North Austin folks.
Yeah. That's who you have to hit up.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, I feel like people want to see comedy. Like sometimes they just like maybe don't know where to like that there's like smaller shows, which is why I should put it on Comedy Wham.
Here we go. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Although Cold Town they have a PR person that has been submitting shows, but I don't think the Oh Wow show is on there.
I don't think so either. Yeah. So I should just submit it myself.
And you can customize it so that it's first and third Fridays.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't have to do one show at a time submission. You can do like once first and third of the month.
Man, Richard is good.
Yeah, he is very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he makes it super easy. I mean, people still still flub up every once in a while, but for the most part, he's made it pretty easy for especially the recurring shows.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And you're doing the Do 512?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm doing the
so
Do
that
512,
should help,
and which has been, I think that's like probably the only thing that's helping. And then I'm trying to I'm trying to also buy like ads on Facebook and Instagram to see if that's also any help. But I'm trying not to spend so much money on it because it's like if I get like 30 people, that's like the only way I like break even. So I've been like, to be honest, like paying out of pocket like every show and stuff, because I also buy like, I don't have like drink tickets there, so I buy every comic a drink out of my own pocket and stuff too. And then just because it's like, I feel like most shows like you should at least get like a free drink, and they do get paid also, but it's just like I just feel like that's like the standard and stuff. Yeah, especially if they do offer drinks there. So I just buy everybody drinks every time, but that also comes up to be like $50 tab and stuff. But
I often think about how much comics spend of their own money to put on a show, and it's kind of like, okay, so you're putting on a show to entertain yourself,
right?
If you can't get those butts in the seats,
right? Exactly. And it's like, I mean, every time we've had like, I've only done this show so far 4 times now. And then so far it's like I'm just like always crossing my fingers for like 10 people. Like I just want at least 10 people that are like gonna laugh really hard and stuff. And then, but I'm just like, I'm super excited for Coal Town to like get a permanent space and everything. So I'm like trying to build this up because I'm like hoping that once they get their more permanent space, like they will like maybe pull me in and do something kind of like Live at Coal Town again. Like this might replace something like Live at Coal Town. Yeah,
it's a great name too. It's so much fun.
Thanks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, that's how I like exactly how I like thought about it. Like, oh wow, nighttime is how I put it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
We're gonna get our serenade. So that's our one-eyed cat who transports a mouse from one end of the house to the other and
so
sings.
Cute.
Yeah.
Like is it a him? A boy?
That's a
cat?
him.
Yeah, he's been like cuddling like up on my leg for like a while, and it's like very, very sweet. He's so sweet.
He I don't know if this says something about my boyfriend's toes, but he loves to lick my boyfriend's toes.
Oh my god.
So I was like, oh my god, did he lick your toes?
No, but
Okay, good.
but I charge for that, so I'm just kidding.
I've got a bottle of champagne.
I will take it.
So it sounds like your true love is stand-up.
Yeah, like I would say it's like stand-up and it's also acting.
Yeah.
But it's like stand-up is a lot more accessible than acting because like you could easily go out and like do a show or like an open mic, whereas like for acting it's like you need somebody to tell you that you could to go and do the acting. And sometimes it's not even what you want to act in and stuff, but it's like that's just like how you get paid. Like sometimes it's like I recently did like an audition where it's like I like had to like just open a jar of mayonnaise and sniff it for a while and stuff, and because it was like you have to really show that you love mayonnaise. And I'm just like, man, like even if I got this, like I don't even like but it's like, but they pay so well. Like a lot of these like pay like $1,000, $2,000 like or more dollars for like sniffing mayonnaise and stuff. And then but it's like, but you're also competing with so many people that are also like, it was really funny because like I had just submitted that audition and then I was taking like a voiceover acting class. And then I saw that like my voiceover teacher was editing his mayonnaise sniffing video also. And I was just like, we're submitting for the same things. And so I'm just like, if I'm submitting for this, like I'm like, there's probably way more people submitting for this also. Yeah. And then so it like was interesting. But I do like doing acting a lot. Like my dream is actually to like, my ultimate dream is like to star in my own like series that like I created. Yeah. Like kind of like the Issa Rae Broad City route and stuff, which is why I've been like so obsessed with like making web series and stuff, because like that's how like theirs took off, and I'm like trying to like really submit this into festivals this time, like a bunch of festivals, and see if like somebody's interested in it to like actually build it into like a like 20, 30-minute episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so that's like the dream, to like have a writer's room and act in something that I like actually feel like I actually would like to play like this character and stuff, because I wrote it, So, and then I would say stand-up and acting are pretty like tied head to head for this. Like, I'm actually, my goal for next year is like I want to try to produce like my own like comedy album, and I'm setting a deadline for myself of like December 1st or whatever the Saturday is.
Yeah.
Because like right now I only have about 23 minutes of material, and then I would like to ideally have 45. So I was just like, if I set a deadline for myself, like I book out a venue and everything, then like it would force me to like really hustle super hard to like write more, like get out more and everything. So that's like, after I'm finished filming my web series like this year, that's like the plan for next year. Because I was actually going to do it this year, and then I was just like, I'm too scared. I chickened out. And then I was like, I feel less scared making a web series that is going to take up so much of my money. Like, I'm actually taking out a loan from my 401k to fund this. Yeah, that's how I'm funding this.
Wow.
And then that's how much I am like wanting this to be like so good this time. Because my first web series, like I did it with like a 3-person crew. It was like me, Dustin Swalick, and my ex-husband at the time was kind of like a PA. And then like my like best friend was like the producer on it. And then Dustin did like lights, sound, and filming and everything. So it was like a very bare bones crew, and like I spent like I think like $6,000 to $8,000 on it or something. And then I'm like tripling, quadrupling my budget this time.
Are you not doing crowdsourcing or applying for grants?
I just like, I feel like I am going to try to apply for some grants. But like in terms of crowdsourcing, like I am still waiting to see like what my really big project is going to be, because I feel like as like a human, you're only allowed to have like one crowdsourcing project in your life. So it either has to be for a medical thing or like a really big project that you're like really trying to fundraise for, and then you're never allowed to do one again because people will stop giving you money if you do too many.
Okay, can I push back?
Yeah.
And tell you, I don't think that many people think that way.
Really? Okay, that's good to know, because I was like, because people have told me.
Has anybody told you that? I mean,
No.
I could be wrong, but it just seems like if you're an artist, people know the whole starving artist concept.
Right.
And
yeah, the only reason I feel kind of bad about it is like, even though like I make like a pretty decent salary because I work in IT and stuff, and then but I don't have any money and stuff, like because I'm constantly paying back like my credit cards or whatever and stuff, because I have like a very bad like spending habit.
oh god,
and then I've
I'm
also
send you back with that.
no, I do have like a bad spending habit, but it's like but a lot of it is just because like I don't cook at home. I like have too many subscriptions to things. Like I buy like buying clothes is like my big like self-soothing thing that I do and stuff, because it's also this like big dopamine hit that I get like when the package comes, and I'm very obsessive with like tracking it and everything, and I get very excited, like, so I think it's just like a whole addiction. And I'm like, I've like gone through like so many friends who have been trying to like counsel me in my finances and stuff, so that's kind of why like I feel bad about like asking people for money, because it's just like I'm just bad with my money. And then but I also am like, I'm about to take out enough money to that would be more than enough for a down payment for a house. And then so like it's like how much I'm planning to spend on this like web series. And I'm just like, this is why I'm like, sometimes like I either feel like really different from my friends or that I like went to college with and everything, because all of them are homeowners, and like they're starting to have kids. Like out of my entire sorority pledge class, like I am the only person that actually doesn't have kids and isn't married anymore. And then so it's like, it's just kind of like, I'm just like, you guys are having babies and I'm like investing all my money, like my retirement funds into this like web series that I call my baby and stuff. So it's just like, we have such like different priorities in our life and stuff. And sometimes it makes me feel bad.
I don't do this all the time, but I'm going to offer some advice.
Okay.
Because I think one of the perks that you may be overlooking to the crowdfunding is your fans want to support you.
Yeah.
And even if you're kind of feeling a little angst about, I may have a financial issue with how I spend my money, then don't ask for a whole bunch.
Right.
Just give a chance for your fans to pitch in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still going to take, some money off of the total cost that you're going to invest.
Yeah.
And it'll give your fans a chance to, be involved and support. And
that is really true.
So that's my free advice.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. I don't
care. That's what like my other like directors have all suggested, like you should really look into crowdfunding this and stuff. And I'm like, but what if I have a medical emergency one day? And then
we can't predict the
future. That's true. That's what insurance is for, ideally. But I mean, I don't even know if my insurance is good because like
well, let's not find out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do that little intermission part, even though we're like nearly at an hour, and I'm fine. I don't have anything going on. But I love this card game, this Where Should We Begin? I don't even use it as a game, but I've been using it in the podcast. And you have 2 cards in front of you. Choose one, read it out loud, and go from there.
Okay. Oh, man. These are rough. Okay. I wish I would have spoken up when...
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Like, there's so many things for sure.
I'm trying
to think. Like, what? Oh man. I wish I would have spoken up when... Oh, man, I really don't know because there's like certain things I want to say, but then I'm like, oh, but what if they listen to this episode? And then, okay, maybe I'll just do it more like a general. Is it okay if I generalize something?
Yeah.
Okay, so like when I've been looking for directors recently, I've been like I said, like I sometimes have a hard time saying no to people. So like one of the directors, like they presented like a idea to me, and I was kind of like, I don't know if that aligns with my vision for like the web series and stuff. But like they were so passionate about it, and they seemed so sure of themselves about it. And I also like liked this person a lot as a person, so I like wanted to work with them.
Yeah.
So like, instead of saying like, let me take some time to myself and think about it, like really sit with like this gut feeling that I have that this isn't right, like this isn't what I want to do, I was just like, you're hired. Like I just told them on the spot. I know. And then so what ended up having to happen was like I had to I met up with like I also had like other appointments with like other directors that I was like not like I was planning to cancel because I was like, I guess I already hired somebody. I don't want to waste their time. But then my boyfriend was like, I think you should still meet up with them just because like you don't know if they had come prepared with like a lot of stuff also, and just like see what they have to say and everything, just like if anything to build connections and like meet other people that do this. And then so I was like, okay. And then I was like, I went and met up with some other directors, and it was just like my mind was just like blown, and I was just blown away. I was like, you, like one person in particular was like, you have exactly what I think I want to do. And then it's like, and all of like he already started put together like shot lists and things, and he would give me like examples from like other movies and films that he would pull and be like, okay, this is how I would want this scene to look and this scene to look. And then he also even started scoring music because he like is a musician. And then so he started like making songs for like the title credit and the end credits.
Oh, wow.
And I was just so impressed. And I was just like, I like learned my lesson and I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. And then I had to send like a very hard email to like the person I said like yes to. And I feel like I should have spoken up at that moment and said like, I don't know if this is like really what I had envisioned.
Yeah.
And then like I just felt like it took me a week and a half to finally draft that email and send it because I was so scared to send it because I was like really afraid that it would like ruin our friendship and everything. And that was like what I was absolutely terrified of.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like he ended up responding and was like very kind about it, which was nice. But I still like feel so uncomfortable like having even had to send that email and everything. But I knew that if I like, it was just eating at me like the whole time that I was just like, did I make a mistake and everything? And then like it was just like I like couldn't really sleep very well and it was just like bothering me every single night. And then so I was like, I feel like it's going like as we are filming this, like I'm just not going to be happy with or proud of it and stuff. And then so I was just like, I have to say something.
And
then,
you did.
Yeah. So I did eventually speak up, but I wish that I should have done it earlier, like just followed my own gut reaction or at least have said like, give me some time to process this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I learned. Yeah.
Well, for your big, first very big project, you're going to learn some life lessons about how the process goes.
Yeah.
So, cut yourself some slack.
Yeah, that's true. So I learned a lot. So I am like learning so much in therapy, like how to say no and also like just like I talked about this situation like with my therapist and she was actually like very proud of me because I finally like did something that was like uncomfortable for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
avoiding conflict is like the best, but then it just inevitably it gets you.
I know, exactly. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm curious what the other one says, and I might. Let's see.
Should do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I thought it might be fun because nobody listens to this podcast, Yola. I mean, no, that's not true. I mean, some people. I'm not at JRE levels of listenership. Not that I necessarily want to be, but I'm trying new things.
Yeah.
And so you had two cards. You chose from one, and let's see if I can answer this. The person who intimidates me the most. Ooh. Oh. Gosh. There's not a lot of people that intimidate me, but I am willing to bet it is one of my two roommates.
Oh.
My mom or my son. I don't know which one is worse. I think it might be my son.
Really?
Yeah, because, he's had a tough life.
Right.
And as a parent, you feel a lot of guilt. And you want to make a good life for them.
Right.
And sometimes I am not the best parent. I try to do a good job, but if I don't do a good job, then he's going to call me out on it because he's a very blunt and direct person.
That is actually very good.
I know. It's going to get him in the ass at some point, but I love that about him.
Yeah. And that also shows that you guys have like a very good relationship that he could actually even call out like certain things because like I never would have been able to do that with my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And I think that shows that you do good parenting and stuff. So you should give yourself a pat on the back for that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm supposed to do this little card thing in the middle of the episode. We were just talking about this big project you're taking on, and you have now picked a director.
Sort of. I'm still waiting to hear back from one more director, and then she's in the process of reading my scripts right now. And I mean, like it would be amazing if I got to work with her, because she would be like the dream director, because she's like actually like credited and established and everything and stuff. And then so like I'll like tell you who it is like after the podcast and stuff. But I would, if she said she wants to direct it, I'd be floored. And then so I would probably go with her if that is the case. But like with the other director, so the only thing with him that the one I really like is he actually doesn't have true directing experience, but he is so hungry to do this and learn, and he wants to really be a director. And then so he's like reading filmmaking books, and he's like doing all this like research and background work for this. Like he's just like very involved in it. Like I'm actually meeting up with him tonight because he's going to help me like rewrite the script and do edits for it too, because he just wants to be involved in this like somehow. And then so I was just like, this is like super kind, and it's like
it's a catch-22. You go with a hungry person who's eager to make it be as successful as possible,
right?
Or go with somebody that having that credit,
right? Exactly,
is going to be good for you,
right? Yeah. Ooh. So I really like, I'm just waiting to see if the other director is even interested, because like I've had some people that I've like sent my script to, and they were like ghosted me afterwards and stuff. And then I was just like, okay, you could have just told me that you didn't want to and stuff, but maybe this is better.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. How long of a series? How many episodes?
It's 6 episodes long, and it's gonna be about it's about 42 or 45 pages, so it's about gonna be like 45 minutes long. Yeah. So people have like suggested for like festival wise, like if it would be a good idea to like put this all into one episode or something, like to make it into like a short film, or just like we do it episodic, like we were planning to and stuff. But I think I might have like 2 versions, so I could submit it to like 2 different things and stuff, because it does actually read and flow like a true story, which I was like surprised that I was actually able to write, because like I've like written a bunch of pilots before and stuff, but the thing that I get stuck on is like I don't know what to do for episode 2. And then so my hope is that like if my pilot ever gets picked up for something and people want to make it, then I would have like a writer's room that would like help out with this and stuff. Yeah.
It's so easy to think. You're watching a TV show, if you're watching the first episode, and you're like, oh, this is so great, I could do this. And then you're like, yeah, but you have to write a dozen, or you know, and then you write seasons of it, and it's like, oh my gosh.
I know. I just like don't even know how to do that. So like the fact that like I actually wrote something that was episodic, like truly episodic this time, I was just like, okay, good job, Yola. Like you did it. Like finally. Yeah.
Okay, so you seem to like go after incremental next steps, next levels for yourself. Let's say this all goes without a hitch. You get it under your belt. You've got the album that you've set a goal for yourself for the end of next year.
Yeah.
What's 2024's goal?
I have no idea. Maybe I'll finally rest. I truly don't know. Like there's a part of me that is like, do I want to stay in Austin and like maybe buy a house here and like that be my next goal, and maybe set roots down, finally set roots down, because like I like never expected to stay in Austin this long. Like I thought I was going to move after a year, and I was going to move back to Seattle to be back home with my family and friends. And then I just ended up loving it here so much that I just like, every time I go back to Seattle, like I do like seeing my friends and family, but I like, if I'm there too long, I get super depressed. Yeah. And I think it's just because like I need my own space so much. And then so maybe it would be different if I had like my own apartment, if I was like back in Seattle and like trying to reestablish my life there. But all my friends like have kids, and it's like harder to like meet up with them now. And everything. And then it's just like, it just also feels like we're at completely different paths in life now. And then it's like, even in our group chats, like I'm like the only person that like they're talking about like, oh yeah, like I had to get a C-section. Oh my God, you didn't use any an epidural at all? Like all this like stuff. And I'm just like, I can't relate to any of this.
Yeah.
And then so it's just like, that's what they all like, they're like, oh, like, I want to talk more about this. Like, we should get together and talk about this. And I'm like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it's just been like, that's been a little harder. Yeah, that's just been a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you said you came to Austin in 2011?
2012.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry. I started comedy in 2011, and then I moved to Austin in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I saw you perform several times before the pandemic, so I knew who you were, and now we're post-pandemic, and the comedy scene is so radically different.
Right.
Does that affect how you feel about comedy and how you feel about Austin, and whether or not you want to stay or go?
No, I mean, like seeing people like I'm trying to think like who. Like Casey Shornima, like seeing her like thriving here, like going to Just for Laughs. And then there's like, she has some like more exciting news that I can't say and stuff like that. But like, but it's like, just the fact that she's like succeeding here, like she moved here from Tennessee, and then she's like quickly climbed the ladder here and everything.
I had
and then
no idea
like,
that she was in Austin. Like I didn't know her before, but I found out from the JFL thing.
Yeah,
like, she's from Austin. What the hell? How did I miss her?
Yeah. No, she's really, really great, and it was like kind of like, because I helped her out with something recently, like taping an audition. And then so we were like talking, and then I just like left being like, that could happen for somebody living in Austin. And it's probably because like she did JFL and everything, and like you just get opportunities like that afterwards. But it was just like very cool to see like, and like people are able to get to like do late night from here and everything, like with like Maggie and I don't know who else. Like I know other people have done late night recently too, but it's just like I do feel like a lot of people are also moving here and stuff. And like people have found more success coming to Austin than they did in like their hometowns. Right. I think like because like there is just like such a opportunity to like get your name out there, either with like FPIA or I guess like the Tony Hinchcliffe show or something. Like, you know, like they're like, and then it seems like more comics are coming out here and moving out here too and stuff. So, but I just feel like the acting jobs like aren't really here. Yeah. And then so like, but I also wonder like if I can't book anything while I'm here in Austin and I'm in like a smaller pond, like how can I expect to like book anything like in like LA or something where I'm like competing with like so many people that like look like me, are like way prettier than me, like have more skills than me and stuff like that. Like, cause I feel like sometimes like as like an Asian performer, like, cause I've had friends that like have like taken up like martial arts and kickboxing, like as like Asian performers and stuff, because they're like trying to train for these, like, so they could put it on their resume that like, I know this, because it's like I've auditioned for like, I auditioned for like the live action Mulan, and like, I like couldn't do anything and stuff. And then so it like, but they were, I think, really looking for like a certain look, like for a lot of these roles, like they're looking for a certain look and everything. And, but if you could also like fight and stuff, like that plays like that gives you a huge boost up also, because then, but like, I know people that like start, you know, still get like stunt training and everything. So you do get to learn after that, but like, you know, I might just like not be like very castable in a way, because like I do feel like I'm not like skinny enough, and like I just feel like my self tapes like maybe aren't that good or something. So I am trying to like figure out like what can I do to make myself like more sellable and everything. So I'm like, but like losing weight is very hard. Like, it's so hard.
And it does not get easier as you age either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I keep telling myself like I need to eat better, but then I'm like so stressed out. All I want is like comfort food and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you talk about that, because as a moviegoer and, you know, consumer of all sorts of TV shows, like, to me, it seems like there's always a wave in what's in as far as the acting look. And it feels like as we've become more aware of the Asian American influence and other influences, that there's definitely a stronger note of diversity in the casts of shows that I see. And it's not just, you know, making sure I've filled in the box of the black actor, the Asian actor, but actors of different sizes.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have amazing performers like Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion, who just dropped an album. I want to listen to it. I haven't yet. Who are normalizing size.
Right.
And I mean, come on, how many of us are size 2?
Right. Exactly.
Hardly any of us.
Exactly.
And so
that's so true.
That's what we should be watching on TV too. It's like that's...
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of like hoping for, because like I have like all this, like, I feel this internal pressure to have to like lose weight before filming my web series. But then there's also a part of me that's like, I'm like a pretty average American size, and maybe people like, I feel like there's not enough like mid-size like women out there and stuff. So part of me is like, maybe it's actually a good thing to like have this representation of like me not being the stick thin, more curvy than like most people and stuff. And maybe like people would actually like seeing that, you know? Yeah. And then so like maybe I don't have to kill myself by going to Orange Theory every morning. and
you should do that if it makes you feel good and if you enjoy, you know.
I'm trying to, because it does like mentally help me a little bit, but like all my meetings start at 7 a.m. now and stuff. And then so like if I am trying to make it before that, like I have to literally do the 5 a.m. class. And I guess I could try to do it after work and everything, but I just haven't like shifted my schedule to that yet. Yeah. So it's hard. Like I've been trying to just figure out like, how do I want to portray myself like in this series? Like as like an honest woman, or like somebody who like had to starve herself for like months to do this.
You're going to be under so much stress as it is.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm team just be who you are.
I know. I should.
Be healthy for the sake of being healthy for yourself. Yeah. But, you know, don't try to fit into the size 0 pants.
Right.
Just because
you
think your audience wants to see that. They want to see Yola.
That's true.
And
you're right.
You're going to love your project even more if you're...
Yeah, that's true.
That's the second piece of advice I've just dropped on you.
I feel like I should be paying you money for this session.
You brought me gifts.
Of course, you just moved into a beautiful house. Oh my gosh. Like you need a housewarming gift.
Wow, it was very sweet.
Yeah, of course.
Is there something we have not talked about that you want to talk about? Something else you'd like me to share my unsolicited advice on?
No. I don't think so. Like, I think I touched on everything that I've like really wanted to touch on. Yeah. Unless if you have any other like questions, but
we could go through a little rapid fire thing.
Oh.
What do you love about being a performer?
I love being able to try to connect with the audience at any sort of level. I've been having more and more people, like, because I've been talking about like my divorce, my miscarriage, and all this stuff. Like I've started like putting it into my jokes, and like a lot of people will come up to me afterwards, like after shows, and be like, I relate to that so much. And so like being able to feel like I could connect with people on like more of a personal level is kind of nice. Yeah. So like that's what I like most about being a performer.
What do you like least?
I feel like comparing yourself with other people is probably, and that's something that I just need to like work on with myself, but like I can't help but like to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm never going to get this, like I'm never going to be able to do this and stuff like that. And then so that is definitely kind of hard to like always be comparing yourself to like other people for.
Yeah, especially when you dabble in everything like you do. Not
Right.
dabble, but when you pursue, stand up, improv, your troupe, acting, and writing.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be tolerable if you just did one of those things, but in each of those respective arts, there's like comparison is.
And like the rejection is hard too, and everything, like submitting to festivals, and then like either for stand up or writing competitions, and then like your videos for your web series and stuff, and then just like the constant rejection of everything too.
Well, Uncomfortable, the web series, is hilarious. So hopefully people will check that out at least. And then, your next one.
Yeah,
people will
for sure.
watch.
Yeah. I like debated if I wanted to do like a true season 2 of Uncomfortable because like they're like, it's not like my YouTube is like popping or whatever, but I like one of the episodes did hit 1 million views on YouTube. And then like, I have like over 1,000 subscribers on the channel and stuff. So part of me is like, this is people who want to see it and everything. And then so I was like, should I just like keep it going or something? But I think like I'm more excited about this whole new series. So I guess it just like will have to build its own fan base and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Unsolicited advice number 3. I've heard somebody else say this on the podcast, and I've observed it with our YouTube channel, because our podcasts are posted to YouTube as audio only.
Yeah.
But I use this app that basically creates a short video from, and it's not action. It's just a short audio clip from that full episode, and it posts as a short. And some of them get like tens of views. No, some of them get into the hundreds of views.
Wow.
And I heard somebody else recently on a podcast saying shorts is where it's at.
Really?
Yeah, so you could, I mean, I don't know if you have to go back to Dustin, and I know Dustin is extraordinarily busy.
Yeah.
But you maybe could get somebody to help you take little tiny, like 10, 15-second snippets of your Uncomfortable series just to keep it going.
That's
and
true.
Have them be shorts, and I think you'd get views.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a really good idea. Like, because I do feel like I made something like really good, even because that was the first thing I've ever made.
Oh, yeah, it's really good.
And then so it was like, I like didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't connected in the film community and everything, but it's just like, I like will sometimes like go on like college tours, and I'll like present one of the videos and stuff like that. Like the Dirty Dishes one is like my most, like, I feel like it's my favorite episode. So I present that one, and people like love it. Like they laugh, and they like come up to me afterwards, and they might not have liked my stand-up, but they liked the show, the short and everything. And then like one person even, there was a company for this year's like Asian American Heritage Month. Like they reached out to me, and they were like, can we stream an episode of your web series at our company event? We'll pay you $1,000 to just stream it. And then I was like, dude, you could have done this for free. It's on YouTube. But I was like, sure. Like,
they were being respectful of the artist.
Yeah, which was like so crazy, because I was just like, I never would have expected like this, because that's like me finally making some money, because I'm not doing ads on my series, because I have been too lazy to figure out how to set that up. But it is like really nice, like to be paid for your work and stuff. Yeah. So I was just like this is just the beginning. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. No, it was very good. I'm gonna have to watch the Dirty Dishes, because I did watch the one that I think the bathroom one, which I think is the one that
the million one, because I think there's poop fetishist people that are like really into it. Because like if you look at the comments, it's like people literally putting timestamps of like when I fart and stuff on it. Yeah. Or like sit on the toilet. It's very, very creepy. Yeah. And I'm just like, I've like tapped into this like fan base that I don't want. And so it's like weird. Like I still will get like really weird comments on it sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, I watched other ones and they were just as good.
Thank you.
But yeah, I guess they
Thank
didn't
you.
hit the finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Audience. Okay. Well, I have one more closing question, and it is one word to describe your future.
Oh man. One word to describe my future. I would say optimistic. Like I feel like things are coming. Doors are starting to slowly open for me, and I'm like, even though like my path might not look the same as like everybody else's path and stuff, like I am like, you know, trying to figure out like how to do this just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And like I feel like opportunities have been like happening for me, and it's just like sometimes like slower than I would like it to be, but I am making some progress.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of myself. So I would say like I'm pretty optimistic about the future.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you so
yeah.
much. This was so much fun. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a wrap on Comedy Wham presents Yola Lu. Yola, tell us where we can find you, promote all of these amazing projects.
Yeah, the best place to see my updates would be on my Instagram at Yola J Lu. And then I also have a website, which is yolalucomedy.com. And then you could find, when I do update my calendar, you can find all my shows on there, which I'm going to do after this. But you could find all my shows on there, and you could also find things like my acting reel, other short sketches that I've done on there as well. So.
Okay, fantastic. And your show is?
Oh Wow Nighttime. It is the first and third Saturdays of every single month at the Violet Crown Clubhouse. It's a different stand-up lineup every month, and I try to book the most diverse lineups as I can. We usually have just one white guy for diversity.
I love it. I love it.
So that's how we try to do it there. Yeah.
Very good. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Yola got to be the comedic genius that you heard today, just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham presents Yola Lu. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Yola.
Thank you. Thank you so much.